So the season is done, coach. You came out fifth. Congratulations. Straight from Division 1, coming up fifth is a very huge achievement. So overall, how would you evaluate the performance of your team throughout the 2022-2023 league season?
First of all, I'd like to say I think the players gave their all. Wonderful season. Coming back from the first division and doing what we did. At some point, towards the last 5 games, we are number 2, fighting for a spot to qualify to Africa, CAF Confederation spot. Started very well because we are playing the defending champions, Red Arrows, in the first game. I feel a game we could have won and maybe the confidence could have been up. Then we followed it by drawing against Nkwazi at home. By then obviously the confidence was going down because we didn't pick up wins. Went to Rumwana, another promoted side. We lost. Then we picked up against Choma Eagles, the 4th game we won. The confidence came up. We did well for some time. Then we went into a slump. I think we went a lot of games without winning. But I believe we kept on believing. And the time, again we started winning. I think we had a good patch. But again in the second round, we had a patch where we went 5 games without winning. Then again we picked up. So I think those 2 patches in the first half of the season and second half of the season, I think if we correct them going to the next season, I think that would be an area where we can improve. But all in all, I think we had a wonderful season.
Coach, from what you've given us, where do you think the team went wrong? Like, where do you think the inconsistency was coming from?
I think from what I've said, from not doing too good and then going on a winning streak, then I think maybe as a team consists of the technical, everyone, maybe it's us, the technical, maybe we relaxed a bit, the players maybe they relaxed a bit, because there are times when we went 4 games on a winning streak, and then the 5th game we didn't win, we either drew or lost. So I think maybe that's where we missed it. But we are very happy because I think maybe it's only Musa who had gone on 4 straight wins. The only team to do that. So that's a plus to us. But I believe we could have continued maybe to go to 5, 6, 7. But we only did up to 4. But to do it twice in a season when no other team, I'm not sure about Musa, but maybe they did it 4 games, then it means we did well.
And where would you point would have been your greatest strengths and weaknesses as a team?
The greatest strength, I think, whether we lost, we drew, even in those bad patches, we still continued to believe and we played the same way. And I think that was our strength.
And the weaknesses?
The weaknesses, again, when we won those 4 games, when we did well, I believe to be a strong team, you have to do well, maybe in straight 10 games. But after 4 wins, the 5th game, so either a draw or a loss. So for me, I think on on that part, we didn't do well. Although we are the team which made 4 straight wins twice. A lot of challenges, I think. In terms of obviously the players joining late, especially the ones when we started the season, we can talk of the likes of Fred Mimanzi, I think, who has been a revelation this season, a defender, scoring six goals, playing so well. Renard Mlenga, I think in the last games, I think he has been one of our instrumental players. But all those I'm mentioning, I think they didn't do a good pre-season, and where they were coming from, I think they didn't have much game time. So just to mention a few, I think it was good, but I feel if we had them earlier, it could have been better.
But even though you still managed to do better with them, even when you came late, so how did you look at that, and how are you looking at next season, let's say?
Yeah, that's my reasoning is if we can have everyone. The challenge was even in this during the second period of the season, I think we had players like Adams, Pinoki, also even to start to play. I think Zikiru started playing in March. Is it? If I'm correct, he started playing in March, February or March. But a few games he managed to score 5. Imagine if by January, the first game against Red Arrows in the second round they had started, I think we could have been talking about other things. So the most important thing is obviously now we know where we went wrong. So I believe this season most of the things we are going to improve, because especially in Zambia, I think challenges are a lot, which if I was to list them, I think we can spend the whole day. But for now, we'll just talk about that.
Okay, good. Let's talk about, I know it's a team, but there are obviously those players that stood out for you.
Diego came in after we had played some games. Augustine Mlenga, wonderful lad to have. He has played for Zambia, he's played outside, but I think came in the team, fitted in, excellent.
How do you think, before you go further, how did you think he managed to suit into the team, like coming from a different league, getting back to the Zambian league? You know, he was playing outside Zambia and then coming back to Zambia. How do you think he managed to quickly fit into your philosophy and the team and everything?
He is a quality player, so I think good players, it's easy to fit, but obviously also he didn't do the season, but I think we pushed him, but we believe the best is yet to come. If he's going to have a very good pre-season, I think we'll see Augustine Mlenga who's going to score and create a lot of goals.
Any other players that stood out for you?
Of course, our captain Luca Banda, always there, fighting for the team, a true warrior. I think Mwimanzi, I've mentioned, did well. Chapa, the goalkeeper, Rodwell, came to the party as well. Musonda scored, but I believe Ted could have scored more, but his first season, I think full season in the Premier League with NAPSA, I think he did well. Numerous to mention, I think Simon, when he had a chance, also he did well. Injury did bad to him. So I can go on and on because this has been a wonderful season, and we just hope we'll continue to build on what we have achieved this season.
If you had to pick any of your players to be part of the MTN Awards, even just be nominated, which player would you go for? Especially player of the season.
It has to be Mimanzi, Luka Banda, the goalkeeper Fred. We are the third least scored team, so I think we did well.
Looking back at the games that you played, there are probably decisions that you made. Let's say you substituted this player for this player, or maybe you started this lineup for this other lineup. Do you think you would have made better decisions, or you're proud of all the decisions that you made in the just ended season?
That happens in almost all the games. The only difference is, I think we are blinded because we have won. Even the games we have won, there are decisions which we don't do correct. Sometimes we do correct things, but that's our motto, or my motto as a coach is, even when we have won, we have to talk about the game and we have to see where we went wrong. So to give you a perfect answer, like in this game, maybe the recent one in Nkana, when we are the better team, going towards the end, I think because we are away and you know how it is, so maybe we could have stopped pushing in the last 10 minutes and then maybe gone for a draw. But there are a lot of games, whether losing, drawing or winning. There are a lot of games and we know them. We are right about that. Oh, we beat this team, but we should have gone this way because the player maybe we put didn't do what we wanted. But sometimes you keep a player, for example, you make a substitution, that player doesn't do well. Sometimes there are times when you just say, okay, we are winning 3-1, we are winning 4-1, let's keep him for the sake of confidence.
And speaking about Nkana, coach, your team has really struggled to beat Nkana. Where do you think we are having it wrong?
When this season?
Yeah.
No, NAPSA Stars.
Yeah, NAPSA Stars has really struggled to beat Nkana. No matter how much they perform well in the game, it's either a draw or they lose. Where do you
I'll talk when I've been here. We beat them in the NAPSA, we draw at Heroes, they beat us there, so it's 1 loss, 1 draw, 1 win. So going forward, we are going to make sure we change that. Because even at Forest, I think it used to happen like that. And I think we changed that at Forest. At Power Dynamos, there was a thing that in Ghana, they win at the Davis, we did that. So we are going to change that.
Would you say it's some form of a feeling of intimidation from the players?
No. I think we are always psyching the players. Yes, they sometimes, obviously, the Nkana supporters, they are the best. I think it's a light following. Even at their away matches, for them it feels like they are at home. But that's the job of us, the coaches, to tell the players that football is 11v11 on the pitch. So that for me, it doesn't count. It's in Zambia, unless if it was a foreign country.
Coach, let's talk about your team finishing fifth. Did you expect this? Do you think you met your expectations? Is this what you targeted? Let's just talk about the position on the log after week 34.
I think coming from Division 1, it was very cardinal that we don't go back. And for us, at 1.5 games to go, we are number 2. So we started believing, even before the start of the season, we believed that we were going to do well. And mentioned that most of the big teams, especially at one of the best pitches to play at, Heroes, I think we punished most of the teams at Heroes. So for us, I think we knew when we won our own home games at Heroes that we are going to do well. We are unlucky not to qualify, but it wasn't meant to be, because now it means we didn't do most of the things right. So we are going to work hard and hope next season we'll do better.
What do you think you should do different in the next season to probably do better, like you have said?
Mostly, I think it's the away games. We could have done better. So we are going to work on that. And if we do better in away games, I think we'll be good to go.
Did you have any injuries that you felt sort of disturbed your game plan? Like if you didn't have these injuries, you were going to do better, or maybe they disturbed just the momentum anyhow?
Injuries are part of the game, and just like suspensions, that's why as a team it's very important to have a large squad to compete, so that when one is injured, you don't have to cry. One is suspended, someone has come to play, even more than the one who was suspended. So those are things you can't control in football.
There's so much love from the boys. There's so much love you get from the boys in the team, generally. I mean, they love and respect you so much. What do you think you do to motivate the players to like you so much?
Because I shout at them so much.
Is that a good thing?
No, I think they know what we want. We are friends. Most of the time we are friends. First of all, I will treat them as human beings. Before they are players, I think they are human beings. And that's one thing people forget about the players. You know, you go to the Copper Belt, an elderly person like Odiambo, a young kid who go, Iwe Odiambo, you know, it's even bigger people, they do that. So for me, I think the first thing is to treat them as human beings. We laugh a lot during, before and after training. But during the trainings, during the games when we're serious, it's different. So I think we get well as a family. The new players, old players, doesn't matter who. The onus is on every individual to prove himself on the pitch, and the rest they leave it to the technical. So I believe they know that we are fair in what we do, and if one makes a mistake, we are not people who go around the bush and talk about someone. Who bring it there. That's why it's difficult sometimes for people even to understand our technical, or a person like me, because we'll say, there are times when we'll say the pitch is not okay, someone will take it the other way around. But this is 2023, and imagine 2023. The rest I can't say.
Coach, you've been labeled as one coach who talks too much, complains too much.
Crybaby.
Apparently, some people say crybaby.
Yeah, that's their opinion, and I respect that. But what I know is what I was talking about. You go to a pitch. This is 2023. You want the national team to win when you are going to play on a pitch which doesn't have grass. then you label me as a crybaby. Let me be a crybaby, but if I'm advocating for something which I think we should improve on, many areas I talk about, but it's up to everyone to stand up and say we have to do this, because we are doing it for who? For Mother Zambia. We are not going to do it to get the glory. No. We are doing it for Mother Zambia. For the national team to do well, we must go in one direction. We must support Power Dynamos, Muza, who are in the continental competitions. And we hope we could have what for. Imagine Buffaloes and the Green and the Zesco, they have missed out because they came third and fourth respectively. And that gives our national team coach to have more players to choose from. Because these players who play in continental, it's the same as playing for the national team, because those are international games. And we miss out because of something we are not doing right in the league. It's not good. So for us, it's the focus, the ultimate is the national team. You don't do well in the league, you won't play continental football. So just like people are saying, oh, Muza, what Power Dynamos? They have fought for these positions to be number 1 and number 2. For me, we were number 2 at one point. I've said to the players, we have missed it, but it's not the end of life. What doesn't, what do they say?
What doesn't kill you only makes you stronger.
What doesn't kill you makes you what?
Stronger.
Makes you stronger. So we believe we are going to come out strong.
So would you say the lack of infrastructure in Zambia has also really affected our performance continental-wise?
Of course, I won't go around the bush to say no, it's fine. It's not fine. And my philosophy, our philosophy is to play good football. We have played good football throughout the season, and we have come 5th, and we are happy. We hope to improve, because football is a project, and the project takes some time. But from Division 1, this season, we have improved. Hoping next season again we are going to improve.
Okay, coach. And would you point out any notable moments or highlights in the just ended season that stood out for you?
I think the game against Kansanshi, 1 man down, we pushed Kansanshi on a bigger stadium, Heroes. It was punch for punch. The game against Nkana, first half, we are a marvel to watch. The result was poor, but we build on such things. Red Arrows game at Heroes.
Beating coach was
No, by then he wasn't there. Of course, they were the defending champions. Did very well. I think the high scoring goals at Heroes, I think they were the highlights. I think you can talk about Prisons 4-1, Buffaloes 4-1. So it was good for, especially for our new supporters from that area around the Heroes Stadium to watch as many goals as they watched this season, because I think it was just a lot of good games on our home ground.
And what would you say was the motivation behind that kind of performance, especially at Heroes Stadium?
I've talked about having good infrastructure, and the way you train is the way you're going to play. And I think if you watched, sometimes we have to give the parts on the players, because the way we trained when it came to the game, that's how we performed. That's why before I said we have to improve on the away form. So more especially from the technical, from myself, we have to find a way of winning games when we go to these other pitches.
Obviously, you picked out some positives and negatives in the season. How do you plan on building on those positives?
Obviously, the positives, it's like what they say, what is not broken, you do what? You cannot fix it. So we keep that. Then we concentrate on the negatives and improve on the negatives. If we just improve on the negatives, I think it will be a team to be reckoned with.
And as a coach, as an individual, how do you plan on just building yourself, especially in the next season?
As a coach, obviously, football is changing. It's more scientific. I think I spend a lot of time just doing football things. So almost every day I try to improve myself. But I won't go into detail. It was only a few people, a few friends, few players, the teams I've coached, they know what I do. And if we are playing them, against them, before or after, we talk about what's going to happen. So I'm happy for now. I just have to continue. Criticism will always be there, and it's very welcome. And the most important thing is to focus.
Coach, one major highlight for the season was your team missing out on the NAPSA Cup. Obviously, you were defending champions, but you failed to qualify. How did you take that, and how are you building onto that, especially going into the next season?
That's one of the things which has made us, if we had made sure we qualified for the NAPSA, I think even the position we have attained, I think maybe we could have done better. But those first games, I think they did us bad. So I think those are the things we should learn from. And it was a big blow because we are the defending champions. And defending champions, they should always give a fight to give the trophy to the other team. So it wasn't good. And obviously to some other guys, maybe it weakened them, but we knew the bigger picture was the league, to stay in the league, to do something in the league. So that was a letdown, but we are happy we have compensated it by doing well in the league. We really wanted to fight for it, but it wasn't to be, and that's how life is. Not everything you plan for will work out during that time. So we hope come next season we are going to do the best.
Before we talk about your season, maybe let's talk about the support from the sponsors and the fans. How do you think it was?
I think, like I have said in football, supporters, we interacted a lot, especially in the second half. Even in the first half of the season, I think a lot needs to improve, but they have been there for us in good and bad times, just the same like the administration. Everything, I think, in football, you don't have to be happy in what you have achieved. So from us on the pitch, administration, supporters, I think we need to do better. We shouldn't be satisfied with what we have done. I believe there's room to do better.
And how was the chemistry amongst the players?
The chemistry, I think, was fantastic.
Okay. Maybe we can talk about next season now, Coach. How are you looking at next season? What's the target? Which areas do you want to really focus on? Are you looking at getting more players in, I don't know, whatever position you felt you were lacking?
need to improve. So we are not going to be very happy with fifth, yes, wonderful season, but we want to improve. So if we need to improve, there are teams above us, there are teams below us. What are those teams doing? They're improving their squads. What do we need to do? We need to improve our squad. Those above us, they're improving their squads. So we also have to improve our squad.
And looking at the level of competition now, there are 4 other teams that have come. Obviously, 4 other teams have won. How are you looking at the level of competition?
Yeah, I think we are there as NAPSA Stars, 5th, Moza 2nd. We came from Division 1. So obviously these other teams, they are coming from Division 1. I think they are looking at us, they are looking at Moza to say, they came from Division 1 and Moza is playing continental football. Look at NAPSA, NAPSA is number 5. They were fighting for a continental place. So these teams, obviously, it depends on what they are going to bring on the table, both administration and I think the technical, the players, and everyone involved with their teams. They plan well. Who knows? Thank you very much for hosting me, and thank you for the support, the management, the supporters, everyone involved with NAPSA Stars. Hope the support will continue as we come back for the next season.